Today we'll be making this lychee and raspberry tart. I love the fresh lychee. I just bought these tart pans. These are mini ones, they're super cute, but today we'll be using the larger one. First add in the flour, powdered sugar, and salt. Whisk it all together to combine. Cut the butter into cubes. Transfer them into a small bowl. Add in the butter to the dry ingredients. Using a stand mixer with the paddle attachment, mix it until it turns into a crumbly texture. When the mixture is done, go ahead and crumble it with your hands even more. After, beat 2 eggs. Add in the heavy whipping cream. Add the egg mixture in. Mix until the dough starts to come together. Take the dough off the paddle, form it into a bowl, and roll it around to get the remaining flour. On a lightly floured surface, roll the dough into a flat disc shape. Wrap it in parchment paper. Put it in the fridge for an hour. In a saucepan, add and heat up the milk. Add in the vanilla extract and whisk. When the milk starts to bubble around the sides, turn off the heat and put a lid on top. Add in 4 egg yolks and add the sugar. Add in the cornstarch and whisk together. Whisk until it turns into a pale yellow color. Then gradually add in a 1/4 cup of the milk to temper it. Gradually add in the milk while whisking. Pour the mixture back into the saucepan. Heat it up for about 3 minutes or until it starts to thicken. Make sure to constantly whisk so it doesn't burn. This is what the consistency should look like. Transfer the custard into a bowl. Cover it so a skin doesn't form. Let it cool for at least 1 to 2 hours or overnight. Put some flour onto the surface. After chilling, take the dough out. It's best to let the dough get into room temperature before rolling it out. Flip it over and roll it. Here, I found it easier to roll the dough between 2 pieces of parchment paper. Take off the top piece of the parchment paper. Carefully put the dough onto the rolling pin. Drape the dough over the tart pan. Cut off excess dough with your hands. Make sure to push the dough into the sides of the tart pan. Let it cool in the fridge for 30 minutes. Poke the bottom with a fork so it doesn't puff up while it's baking. Cover it in foil. Pour in rice or beans to weigh it down during baking. Put the tart in the oven. Bake at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. After, carefully take off the foil with the rice. Brush on some egg wash so the tart does not get soggy after you put on the custard and the fruits. Bake at 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. Put it on a cooling rack to cool. Then transfer it onto a plate and put the custard on. Smooth the custard down. Decorate it however you want, but I'm putting lychee around the edges. I decided to put the lychee all around, and now I'm adding the raspberries. I added in mint leaves for a splash of color. I added more raspberries. Doesn't it look pretty? Pop the tart back into the fridge to let it cool for an hour. Afterwards, it's done and ready to slice and serve. I love the flavor, especially after the lychee and the mint infused into the custard. Thanks so much for watching.